Yeah, that chemo pipe is like, yeah, I've seen it pop up on Instagram a lot lately, and that's really sad because, you know, like those 13-foot pipes are like great for everyone.
For the record, you got Danny Cass sharpened his teeth in that. Lane Knack, like so many East Coast legends came through that, but continue.
Yeah, I mean, like, and that they're just, it's in my mind like critical infrastructure. Like, I think the biggest problem, and it goes back to the Vail model, in my mind, is like you have these huge conglomerates. They come in, they like basically say we're going to put all the marketing jobs and like all the niche shit. It's done, and it's going to get moved to like Broomfield, so it's all run remotely, like a big corporate kind of approach to running the business. So you end up like with these mountains losing their identity. Anything that's niche is considered like, you know, like it costs money. We can get rid of that and still make just as much or more because the bottom line's better. You know, they see participation's probably dwindling a little bit, but a lot of that's their own doing. You know, like if you don't nurture your staff and your park staff, like how are you going to retain talent? Like, so if you, like, I feel like a lot of resorts need to like, you know, either headhunt or like invest in their own guy and make sure he's happy for the long term, and just like, yeah, it's not that hard to say thanks for a good job or like, yeah, we appreciate you, that kind of shit. And I think that's what's been lost in a lot of the bigger resort. You know, everyone just like pedal to the metal all season long, and they just get burnt, and there's no appreciation for the work, you know. So I think, you know, in my mind, like, yeah, what they're doing with that petition to try and save that pipe is rad. Like, it needs to be more like pressure, more online pressure, just to like, because, you know, companies can't escape Instagram now, that you trash talk them into submission almost. So I think, I think like, you know, rally your homies, like make sure you ride the park, make sure you bring in your friends to ride the park, like just make sure it looks like it's being utilized so that they don't get rid of it and think it's unpopular. Because, and my advice to like park builders too is like, make sure, like it sounds super whack to say, but like talk to the local ski school guys, win them over, and like talk to them about like their programs, what they need for park. Because if they can teach people how to ride park and get in there safely, you're going to get the hook into more, you know, lifelong park riders. And I think that's what we all need to do, is actively try and get kids more involved. And then just, you know, make sure you build safe, progressive features. Like a lot of us get into it because we want to build like 40-foot jumps for ourselves, or, you know, like down rails with like good lips and things like that. And we forget about the ride-on boxes and the beginner tabletops. Like that stuff, I would argue, is more important, because that's the thing that's going to grow the park program from the ground up. And you can, you know, the quicker you can get people from the beginner features to the intermediate features, the more support you're going to have for that stuff. So always like take a really progressive approach to it, I think. But I think in general, yeah, it is becoming harder. There's less experience. Seems like there's less financial support and things behind things as well. So yeah, fight, do whatever you can to keep it growing.
Fucking great answer.
Yeah, good answer.
I'm going to queue up another Patreon question. This one's from Daniel Jensen. Said, Charles, is there anything that can be done to reverse the death of the resort halfpipe, or are we too far gone at this point?
That's a great question. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of gone through this at Threadbow myself recently. I really wanted to do the 22-foot pipe under the stomping grounds up the top for the camp, and my approach to it was like, there's not, and we've got like Scotty James and Valentino, like insane pipe riders in Australia, like highest level, you know. So it's like we have this like incredible legacy, and Perisher had like an amazing 16-foot half pipe. Jeremy Carpenter used to cut it. Like back then, we had no idea how lucky we had it. Like one of the best pipe cutters in the world, who was just happy like a pig in shit cutting a 16-foot pipe, and we all benefited. Like we loved riding pipe. Like everyone would be over there sessioning it, you know. And I think like back to the question, it's like with Threadbow, what we did was I said, if we're going to do the 22-foot pipe up top, like, you know, it's a bad look if there's nothing else. Can we, you know, I'll find us a 13-foot cutter. I'll build the 13-foot half pipe with the team. Like Nick Murchison did it last year, did a great job. And then, yeah, like what we could do is, you know, like nurture the low end. You know, like that's a public size pipe. 22s are massive and terrifying. Like it's like hitting a 60-foot jump versus like a 20-foot jump. So it's like the 13's friendly for everyone. Like my son absolutely loves the 13-foot pipe. Like it's his favorite thing in the hill. and all the ski school kids like side slip through there. But then you've got like, Val can still do a 900 in there. I've seen him do a double, and like Scotty James in there with the kids. It's just like, it's a real beautiful scene, and it's getting the kids stoked. And then you look up the top and, Yumu's there doing a double cork in the pipe. And it's like, it makes you, seeing's believing. You can kind of see the pathway if that's what you want.
Gateway.
Yeah. So, there we have the 13-foot gateway drug sitting there. And
the gateway drug.
and everyone's like, everyone's using it. And I think that's the key is like 13-foot pipes. Like the 22-foot pipe arguably killed the resort pipe because they're so big, there's so much snow. And I mean, if they're not cut perfectly, everyone's talking shit. So best thing to do is like try and rally people to get the 13-foot half pipes back, because the biggest investment's the half pipe cutter. I think they're about $100,000. But I mean, I feel like there's enough of a like desire for people to ride that stuff.
Oh, they're
now.
so fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Try to not have fun in a good 13-foot pipe. I dare you.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not possible.
You're gonna have fun.
You're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, Threadbow was the coolest proof of concept because the guys coming through there, like, there's old heads doing hand plants and shit, having the best time. Their kids were in there with them. It's like, yeah, it's a vibe, And Scotty came on board with Threadbow, and we kind of heard we were looking at this 13-foot pipe, and he wants to leave a legacy in Australia, and he basically fronted up the cash to buy that cutter. And
Scotty James?
Yeah.
Legendary.
So he's like, he's doing big things even, obviously investing in X Games and things, but, trying to like leave his mark and leave something for the kids back home was pretty big of him too. So
that's major. That's respect.